create AI girls such as this, this, and this with not 10 free credits, not 100, not 365, but 500 free daily credits every day. Let's dive in. There's a create button option right at the top. So we can either choose on a board or a new canvas file. So the easiest way is to choose on a board. Click on that. And then we are presented with the image generation screen. On first look, it does seem that there's a lot of things that you can do on the screen, but after a while, it's just going to be easy. So the fastest way that we can create the image is just for us to choose the model first. There are 3 models that's available in Playground: the Stable Diffusion 1.5, Stable Diffusion XL, as well as the Playground V2. So Playground V2 is Playground's own trained models. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose Playground version 2. Next way, I'm gonna choose the image dimension. I'm just gonna leave it at 512 by 768. So this is gonna give me a vertical image. And the prompt guidance, I'm gonna raise it to about 4. Quality and details, just gonna leave it on 50. I'm gonna randomize each of the variation. And of course, sampler, I'll just leave it at Euler. Right, and number of images is 2. So one of the good thing about Playground is that it gives us 500 free images that we can generate every day. Not a week, not a month, every day. So there are 500 images that you can generate every 24 hours. So this is the most generous image generator that is available out there. So next is on your left side, we can key the prompt that we want. So let's say I already have prepared a prompt right here. Just gonna paste that in. Right, we can also expand the prompt. Expanding the prompt will allow Playground to add on like various kind of text to our prompt to make it longer and a bit more detailed, so you can get something that is nicer from the image that is generated. We can also choose what we want to exclude from the image. So normally by default, we have a set of things such as ugly, deformed, noisy, blurry. I have a whole chunk of things that I want to include here. So Playground is a Stable Diffusion based image generation model, so normally we do want to include as many things that we do want to see, and of course a more detailed prompt will create something that is nicer looking, right? So in this case, I've already set my model, I've chosen my dimension, I have a prompt guidance, my quality and details. The number of images I can generate is 2. So 2 give us a very good variety, as well as we are able to see whether our prompt is working or not. And it also preserve our credits, I would say, although we have 500, which is a lot. But by doing so, once you have arrived at a prompt that creates something that you really like, then you can start pumping up to like 4 images, right? So I'm on a free plan, so maximum number of images I can generate at a time is 4 images. So now that I have all my settings set up, I'm just gonna click on generate. Right at the top, we are able to set the image based on a column. So normally I leave it to have 4 images in a column, so at least I can see them across a variety once I have more images that generated. It does take a while. Anyway, we're on a free plan, so we do get into a queue. Now we already have our 2 generated images. If you want to expand that, just hover over the image and click on these 2 expand arrows. This is the first image that's generated, and then we have the next one as well. On the left hand side, there is also another option that is for the filter. So for the Playground version 2, there are various other filters that will affect the look and feel of your image. So you have like vibrant glass, watercolor. I'm gonna keep every of the settings the same. I'm just gonna change here to cinematic warm, and let's see how they will affect us, right? So there's one thing for you to note. So currently we are randomized each number. So every time that it generates, it is going to randomize how the image will look like. So I'm just going to click on the generate button on the bottom left. And let us see how our image will be looking like now with us applying the cinematic filter. Based on applying the filter that we have, we now have something that is so dramatic. They actually added for us some fireworks at the back right here. It's pretty interesting. Maybe we'll try royalistic and see what we're gonna end up with. With 500 free images that you can create daily, you can really do a trial and error. That is one of the challenges I find when using free to use of the free option of image generation tools, is you don't have enough credits for you to really try and out. Okay, so when I apply the royalistic filter, I get something quite interesting. I mean, like, I assume they're trying to add like a royal crown and stuff. And because we wanted a Japanese girl and she have this crown and with the side trails here, that looks pretty much Asian. If you're gonna change to the XL model, I will have another sets of filters that I can use, a bit more of an expansion, I would say. So we have animated version, we have Juggernaut, we have Real Vis, which is a bit more realistic. Xavier Chroma, or this like meant for games, I guess. And we do have the realistic stock photo. So we do have an option to fine tune a bit, I will say, to ensure that it looks more realistic. I have switched my model from Playground V2 to Stable Diffusion XL, which is trained on images that is much larger, 1024 by 1024. So hopefully the detail is gonna better, and let's just not apply any filter for now. I'm just gonna generate exactly with the same prompt. Now we have a higher prompt guidance that we can change. So the higher the prompt guidance that we use, then the closer the AI will try to include everything that is in your prompt. If this is a smaller number, then the AI will have more creative freedom on what it wants to create. So in this case, I'm just gonna leave it at about 17. Quality and details, leave it 50. If you increase this, you are a bit curtailed because you are on the free plan, and after a few set of images, you cannot really increase this as much. So I'm just gonna keep this at 50. Refinement, I find that it adds on a bit more too much of an artifact for me for the images, so I don't really add that. I'm still gonna keep the number of images to 2, each of the image is randomized, and the sampler, I'm just gonna stick to Euler, which is one of the most used samplers out there, and just click on the generate button right at the bottom, and we shall now see how the image is gonna look like. So what we did is we changed the model to Stable Diffusion XL. We haven't applied any filter yet. The prompts are exactly the same from all the earliest one that you have created. This is the first one, and this is the next one. Next, let us try with a Real Vis XL. With Real Vis XL, you can see just how much more, a bit more realistic, I guess. But then one look, people still can tell that is like a painted model. I mean, it's not a real photograph, I would say. And now I'm just gonna change the filter to try something else. In this case, without changing the prompt, I'm just gonna choose realistic stock photo. We are still on our Stable Diffusion XL model. Nothing else has changed, right? And we can tap that generate button and let us see what kind of image we are gonna come up with. So you can see the progression right here across the various images, right? So the one thing about generating images on Stable Diffusion kind of powered image generators is that you do have a lot of options for you to try out, like the sampler as well as the models that you can use. But as you can see right here, when I change this to realistic stock photo, it does look slightly better, I would say, comparatively, right? Although it's still not looking like a real photo, but it just gets better each time around. So I guess it really depends on what kind of images that you're trying to go for. And sometimes you just need to let go and not try to get perfection, because in the end, AI is still randomized for now. I mean, like, it's just about 1 year in before since we've got a lot of this AI image generators ever since ChatGPT burst into the scene. So there's still ways to go, but I am pretty sure it will get better as time goes by. I mean, this is really looking quite good, but of course we still suffer with the same problems like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fingers not looking that well. Sometimes the eyes don't looking that well, right? But this is a common issue among all AI image generation tools, until we come to a point that the diffusion model is able to really get and hone in on the details straight out of the box, right? But so far, we do need still a lot of editing to apply to the images. But hey, back then these are not even possible, right? So we do have to give it that the AI tools have really progressed over the years. There are various other strong features that is also available on Playground that is a bit more advanced. So of course, the one of the key ones is of course image to image. This is where you're gonna upload an image that you like and you try to generate something similar. I'm gonna click on the plus button and I'm gonna choose my one of the image that I like over here. So I do have this girl that is in the gym, so that she's wearing this sports attire. So if you are going to use image to image, I will always recommend for us to use either the Stable Diffusion XL Playground V2. So I'm just going to stick to Playground V2 for now and see what we're going to get. And of course, the prompt cannot be exactly the same as what we did previously. I'm just going to say here, Asian girl in the gym, right? And again, prompt guidance, because we choose the Playground V2, I'm just going to keep it to maybe 4. Okay, quality details, sampler again, leave it a EULA, right? The image strength is where it will affect how closely the image that's generated is going to be. The higher this is, then pretty much you're going to get exactly the same image, right? If this at 100, even the AI tool tells you, image strength 100 will generate the same image, and it does generate the same image, right? So what we can do is can I go a balance of 50, but I do want a bit more creative freedom, so I'm just going to put 30 for now. I have a prompt Asian girl in the gym, and here prompt guidance, sampler, number of image 2. I'm just going to click on generate and see what Playground is gonna surprise us with, right? So when we include image to image, most of the time the image generation tool will try to follow the pose and the location, but because there's a lot of creative freedom that is given to the AI tool itself, you are gonna get some interesting mix in terms of the image that is gonna be generated. So let us wait a while, and yes, as you can see, these are the generated images. Looks pretty similar, I will say. It is a good starting point if you do have an image of a pose that you like and you just want the variation in the image it's going to create. So image to image is one of the most powerful ways for you to do this in any AI image generation tool that is out there. Now let's see if we are going to make like some of the changes. Perhaps if you're going to drop this to, instead of 30, I'm going to have 15. And I say here maybe Asian girl in the gym, but in this time she is wearing a green sports bra, right? Let's see how good the image is going to be generated. I'm going to put the prompt guidance, maybe increase it a bit. So the higher the prompt guidance, the closer the AI tool will try to follow the prompt, right? But again, we do have image to image right here at 15. So let us see what kind of effect that will apply to the image, right? So one of the thing about using AI image generation tool is everything is a mystery, right? So what I meant by that is that each time you can't really like fully anticipate what you're gonna get, right? And that is why you do need to generate AI images a few more times to get something that is good. So now the generation is complete. Right here is we do have this girl, but in this case she is wearing a green sports attire there instead of a blue one. So yeah, as you can see, it does allow you to change the color as well. So that's fantastic, right? So if you find that this blue is not for you, you can also try to place in a prompt, gives the guidance a bit, and of course change the colors, and hopefully it works out well for you. If it doesn't, then try to regenerate again or change your prompt and change some of the settings that's available, right? That is the beauty of such AI tools, is that you are able to mix and match and really try out something that really works for you until you get something that is almost perfect, or at least something that you're happy with, right? Of course, you can also change like the model that is being used, and that definitely will affect the image quality and the style that is being generated as well. So in this case, just play around with the model as well, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I just want to try another image to image. So I'm just gonna delete this. I'm just gonna try this image here of this pretty sexy lady. She's an Asian lady as well, and she is wearing a red dress, and of course she has a very nice short hair as well. Of course, we can't have Asian girl in a gym wearing a green sports bra, but I mean we can. Let's give it a try. Although our image to image is not about that, but no, we have 500 free credits, so why not? So let's just gonna generate, but always remember sometimes it does reset some of the settings here, so just double check your settings before you click on the generate button. Here is the image sample that we have, but because our prompt is Asian girl in a gym wearing a green sports bra, we did not get the green sports bra, unfortunately. But we have this weird looking image of some barbells and in a greenhouse, I assume. Right. Okay, she is wearing like a sun sports bra. Now we have some images, some parts here that is from the dress. I assume that there's a reference that is there. So, one thing you need to note is that if you have a prompt, your prompt needs to be well related to the image that you uploaded, right? If not, then what's the point of uploading an image to image option if you are gonna have a prompt that's exactly different, right? So earlier we have this girl in a sports bra, and yes, then the generation is really pretty decent and is almost similar looking, right? Not the same, but similar. But in this case, we uploaded this sexy looking Chinese girl or Asian girl, and she's wearing this nice red dress, and you choose a prompt that is Asian girl in the gym. Of course, we're gonna get something that is not sexy like this. So if this is not something that you like, what you can do, you can just delete the image. Just hover over it. Right at the bottom, you have the option to delete the image, right? So on this point, for if you're happy with the image that you generated, you can just hover the image. You have away options. You can create variations, new variations of that. You can also easily download just by clicking on the button and it's downloaded. As easy as that, right? Of course, there are other options here as well. Edit in Canvas, make private. You can in paint, image to image, right? So now I'm gonna cover the in paint part of using the image. So let's say I'm just gonna generate here Asian girl in the club. Okay, so there's a difference now. So I have a prompt. Of course, you can expand the prompt as well if you want to. Okay, let's say if I'm just gonna click this, expand the prompt, and playground will add on like additional keywords to it, right? The rest of the items I'm just gonna keep exactly the same. And this is the picture of her, but she is in, well, the greenery. So I'm just gonna drop this strength a bit. All this is arbitrary. That means you can really change however that you want and do a mix and match, and hopefully you reach to a point where you get something that you really like, right? But at least understand what each of these so-called settings allow you to do and what does it change, right? So in this case, that's what I'm going to change. Asian girl in the club. I'm just going to reduce a bit of the image strength, so there's a bit more creative freedom for Playground AI to create the image, and I'm just going to click on the generate button, right? I am personally a fan of using two image that is being generated each time. So yeah, you can use 4 if you want to, but then I guess 2 gives me enough understanding of the variation. And if I'm really happy with the image, then I can start using the same prompt, same settings, but in this time change 4 in my variation. So this is okay, she's wearing the same type of dress, but now she is in the club, so called, right? But nah, I don't think that works for me, so I'm just gonna put here a Japanese girl in a dress, because that is to me what she is, right? But do remember that earlier on we have this expand prompt, and I do note that expand prompt do adds on things like dancing energetically in the center. All these are added on because you have the expand prompt option in playground. So I'm just gonna switch that off. I'm just gonna have this Japanese girl in a dress, right? And I'm just gonna increase this back to 30. I guess 30 is already the sweet spot for this. Enough creative freedom as well as not too close to the original image. Gonna tap generate again. And what is the point of generating so much image? Because later on, I'm going to show you the in painting option. If you find this sharing pretty useful, then do consider to subscribe, because I will continue uploading more videos of such that you can learn how to use AI image generation tool. Okay, we have something that is decent, but the mouse is slightly a bit weird. Maybe this one over here. Okay, this is pretty decent. So if you go on the top, no, playground icon, you'll be able to see a profile, community feed, your last canvas files you create on board if you want to, some settings as well. So this is on my profile page, and these are the images that I've generated so far. So what I can do is, for this particular image, I want to do some in painting to it. So I'm just gonna click on that. I click on edit, and it will bring me to my canvas. So the canvas is one of the more powerful features that's available in Playground. So here, like this like the main interface, but what you can do is, for me to zoom in, I just press on the control button on my keyboard and just zoom in using my scroll wheel on my mouse. Right, if I'm going to move this around, I just press on the space bar and hold it, and I can just move the images easily around. Right, when you click on the image, of course, you can do a few other things. You can like download the image, you can crop the image, you can do image to image again, back to how we did it previously. We can remove background, of course, delete, and there are other options up here as well, such as control trait, upscale, and stuff, restore faces. Right on the top in the toolbars, there are a few options here that we can use, like move, hand. Now we have generate another image, right? We also have a pencil, draw. So the option that I want to use is this right here, which is known as in paint. Right, there's in paint and instruct to edit. I'm just going to choose in paint for now, and I can change the size of the pencil for me to in paint over. Just going to zoom in a bit. What I can do is, I'm just going to paint over here. Right, just gonna give her something a bit more jazzy. I'm gonna give her some sunglasses right here. Right, so when I've already painted over the area, I can just scroll down a bit. So remember to zoom in, I just press control and press and hold control and move my mouse scroll wheel, and over here I just say sunglasses, right? And I'm just gonna in paint. So that will take a while, and you can see the amount of time that it's taking to generate it there. So in paint is a technique where you can paint over something and you can change certain aspect of the image. Right, out paint is when you actually expand the other parts of the image that to create something that wasn't there previously. Right, so in paint is about things that's inside the image. So this is sunglasses that has been created. How well did the outpaint the image? Okay, I think fair enough, right? But we only have one option right there. So what we can do is, if we do want to be a bit more accurate, what we can do is that we can try to inpaint this one more time, but this time we can say blue sunglasses, right? And we just inpaint it one more time, and we just wait for it while it generates. So in painting allows you to like fix certain stuff. Like this one, I'll try to see whether I can change the lips as well, right? Maybe to a smiley lips. Okay, so now we have something that is a bit different, not really blue, but I guess I take whatever that is one, right? So what we can do here is that we can also change, let's say if you just want to change the area but you don't want it to be a full change, you can change the image paints, the in-paint image strength, but then I find that just leaving it at 0 is fine. But again, you can always play around with stuff. So what I can do next is that I'll try to see whether I can in-paint the mouth over here. Okay, here maybe I will say red lips. Right at the bottom, just say red lips, and I in paint. Now I have pretty much fixed the lips to something that is a bit more nicer looking, I would guess. So now with her sunglasses and her red lips, now she looks so much more stunning. Yeah, give it a try. And give me a sub as well if you are looking for more AI image generation videos in the future. Bye bye.